Now, if you're out there today and you're listening to this in the audience and you've reviewed your medical records and you found something that was not correct, would you please just share that with us, a short snippet? So what I'm going to cover is not only what to look for, but oftentimes you'll find that doctors are not, shall I say, forthright in their communication of your condition, and that you have a legal right. It's actually a government law that I'm going to go through with you here today that you can use. We give you the format and how to use it and how to submit it to your doctor to advise them, listen, this information in the medical records is not correct. It should be this, and it gives them a certain amount of time to get it fixed. They do not want to have any problems with HIPAA. So this is a great way for you to control the process when you say doctors don't support me. We teach you in other work that we do, like what to say and do when you go to each one of these visits to communicate your limitations. So you can get that piece taken care of because you really want your limitations in your medical records, because if you can't sit or stand or lift more than 8 pounds, or you're not sleeping more than 4 hours a night, or somebody closes a door, a little loud and you get triggered, you're not able to work. So that part we can get in place for you, or we have. And then if there's something wrong in the records, that's where this comes in. So, all right, let's go. You ready?
Ready.
I'm going to put up on the screen here a list of these, and I'm just going to hit the highlights of these, and you can come back and watch the replay and get into the details. Now, here at the Disability Digest, I mentioned that we've been helping people get approved, and we do it two ways. When people join us as a member, they get access to a case evaluation. They get put into our disability approval course. There's no charge for that. And if they choose to have representation, they'd like somebody to represent them, then that's a conversation they can have with an advocate like Philip or Nadine. And if it's a fit for us or somebody else that we work with, then we'll make those arrangements. Now, our experience in representing cases is we've had all except 2 of these directly happen on individuals that we have represented for their disability benefits, because we review the medical records to make sure that, what's in there so we can prove that somebody's disabled. So this isn't like made up. So here's the things that you should be looking for. Incorrect diagnoses. Fibromyalgia, lupus have been interexchanged, right? Missing or incomplete information, like they missed test results, notes, entire appointments, medications, errors in medications, which could be dosage, could be they're missing just like a total medication that was on your list. This one is interesting. We have had an entire wrong patient file in somebody else's medical records, like more than like 3 visits. I know this because we had somebody who went to court and the medical records were requested and they were put in there, and it wasn't until the attorney reviewed it and said, hey, we have like 2 people here. And they were able to work that out in court because actually this judge was familiar with that. So it does happen. Inaccurate medical history, prior conditions, allergies, past procedures not recorded or incorrectly listed. The most important one is number 18 that's at the end, folks, so hang tight. Missing lab results, treatment not recorded. Now, this could happen, this common one. Somebody goes to pain management, and which is a critical part in proving that you qualify or to keep your benefits, but it's not recorded. Duplicate entries, those are pretty easy to sort out, but they're annoying and makes it difficult to understand your medical records. Incorrect dates of service. Fabricated or misrepresented symptoms. There are some doctors that are a little too liberal. So you have to be careful about that. That's part of the reason why Social Security sends individuals to independent medical exams or CEs. They want to make sure that, what is in your medical records is actually correct. Wrong provider notes. It belongs to another provider. Failure to document disability or function limitations. So this is where your work here on number 12 is really important. I'm going to repeat, if you've turned away from your computer and you're not watching this, failure to document disability or functional limitations. So we teach you to journal, document your limitations, bring a condensed version, 1 page into your doctor's with your limitations. If you're doing all of that and it's not getting into the medical records, then it's for nada, right? So that's the whole purpose of it. That's if there's a number one thing that you want to look at in all of this, it's that. Surgical procedures. We had one individual, they had the surgery. It was a leg surgery, a hip, something I'm trying to remember, but they had on the wrong leg. He had the operation on the other leg. So incorrect billing codes, omission of specialist or referral notes, failure to document pain levels. All right, now I use veterans commonly as an example because they don't communicate their pain level like a civilian would because they're trained that way. So that's a different type of problem. But if it's properly communicated by you, meaning that like from the work that we've provided you, how to clearly communicate your pain level, and it's not in the medical records, that is an issue. Mental health record errors. This is a common one. Somebody's diagnosed with a mental health, brain health condition, let's call it depression. And the depression is such that when a depressive episode happens, which is an example would be twice a month, and this individual is in bed for 3 to 5 days for each episode, then that should be severe. That's severe enough if it's diagnosed, treated, that it would be very helpful to get somebody qualified. So if it's not documented as severe, it's documented as just marked or mild, then it's not going to have the same, it's not communicating the severity of it. So make sure that you understand that your conditions are noted properly, especially for the invisible ones, like, the depressions and the bipolars and this. Okay. Here's the last one, most important. People often communicate, Philip, Nadine, I'm sure you've heard this, that, that they were given a prescription for Vicodin, or they were advised to go to pain management again, right? So, and they don't want to take Vicodin because, maybe it solves the pain, but it makes them a complete zombie. Yeah. And they can't communicate. Or they don't want to go to pain management again because it actually makes them worse. So in the Social Security world, it is A-OK to communicate a valid reason why you do not want to take the Vicodin, go to pain management. But if that is not in your medical records, that's a big problem. And this would be number 2 on the list, the second thing to look for. Because what happens is Social Security will come through and say, hey, if you had gone to pain management for just 3 months, like you were directed to, then you could work. And what's not in there is not the explanation that says, I tried going to pain management, but it caused me these challenges, right? So make sure you tighten up the failure to document. So those are what to look for. This might sound like it's like daunting, but there's two key points here. I mean, this is your health, folks. And it would be great if we had like a 100% accuracy in today's, medical system. But I can speak from somebody that's not treated, just from looking at all these situations and seeing them. I just know that's not true. So that's one. Two, and also it's really good disability insurance. Your medical records and your evidence that you provide it's the backbone of getting and keeping your benefits. So I hope you found this valuable. If you have any comments relative, again, like I mentioned at the beginning, to situations that you've experienced, love to hear those.